just stuff's just rolling all over the place, and just your FPS is just getting absolutely ruined.
You guys remember the famous clip where we had pause in the beginning of the game, but the train was still on its normal rotation time? And right when I came out of spawn, it was like ESS low, and I just come to throw this molly to sandbag, and the train just flies by and it hits it.
Oh my
I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh my god.
They can make that, like, non-clipping as well.
Oh, no! Nico!
Did he? What happened there?
What did he throw?
He threw a flash, I think.
Nico, have you ever heard of the Summit? The streamer? Summit? Okay, I haven't been on that one, but it was going to be fun.
It's like his binds are the wrong way around or something. He messed it up. Wow.
Yeah, that looks like you're exactly right.
That's so strange.
Well, let's see if Fnatic can capitalize on this. Flusher getting information as well as the kill. And
it's like Call of Duty right there. Jumps around the corner with the Mac 10 midair.
JW surely gets a kill here. Not looking good for Faze in round number 7. Ooh. Some players made his way down. Guardian hasn't been detected just yet. Mouz got a better angle. Seems it'll be Guardian on this occasion. JW looking towards the balcony, but too late. Can Guardian keep his team in the game? We've seen him do ridiculous things on B before, but Lecro says no. Rain's blind. Rain's gone. 6-1 Fnatic.
Guardian, you know who he reminds me of? I don't know if you guys watch 1.6 much, but is Fraud. He's got that very, like, you would almost think Guardian doesn't have good movement if you just watched him, like, tune in for one time and maybe watch a certain way he, like, navigates himself, Nico. But the Guardian is such a snake. He just slithers in, like, that little play out heaven, and the route he took. He's really underrated, I think, with his movement. Not underrated in general, but in that regard, yeah.
Yeah.
Golden, hey, bud.
There we go. I like that, disposing of the second AWP. Not feeling compelled to use it. Smart decision.
The old bait and switch coming. Does Flusher fall for it, boys?
Flusher's too smart.
Oh.
Flusher knows everything.
Guardian could just sense Flusher. He's like, I'm leaving.
It's a good place for a knife kill when you're on eco. People get too confident, don't check it. Bardock comes out with a knife.
Bardock comes out the Zeus. Drops on their dome.
I knifed 2 people last night. I streamed 3 matches of the Mythic League. Managed to knife 2 people at once. It was great.
We should get production here making Bardolph highlights on the stream.
I should actually. Our video editor wants to make a frag video for me.
Someone subscribed to me last night called James Yet to Frag Bardolph.
Really?
And I was like, James?
Wasn't
He's
me.
like, no, just a fan. And I was like, oh.
That's pretty funny.
Thank you, Henry G.
Woo! Guardian. About to get cut off guard.
Nice.
Thanks.
Interesting smoke from the T side on A-Long. And I wonder what Faze read of this. In fact, they're rotating to B, so might not have particularly worked out, but the round will anyway. And these Mac 10s might continue. I'm very curious to see. I reckon at least one will.
The score is getting out of hand.
When you have a site like B, like, if you have a couple good flashes, those Mac 10s are as good as an AK almost, because at this level, everyone's aim is good enough. If a guy's ducking in that pit, you get him blind, and you know he's there. Even if he's slightly moving, your aim's good enough to dink him pretty quick. You just hold mouse 1. So powerful.
Yeah, it's really. Oh wow, they're just going straight in for Guardian. Okay, the Mac 10 is pretty legit. Just like flashbacks to Vegas Squadron. Nico doesn't have a helmet as well, so he's pretty susceptible. Although Golden will switch out for the M4, but this is a very strong position for the 4v3 here for Fnatic. 1 minute 20 seconds left. Faze have no info. Well, I suppose the best amount of information they have is Nico sort of spotting in from the short towards the squeaky door, perhaps waiting for a sound cue before he goes for a peek. And Carrigan is now investigating with Exist behind towards the bathrooms. Faze know they have to be proactive in this position. They can't allow Fnatic to walk in 4v1 or 4v2. And there it is. Fnatic were waiting for it all along. Golden will catch Exist. Oh, Carrigan, lucky to be alive.
Just about managing to get out. Faze caught off guard by the no respect style from Fnatic with the 2 Mac 10s, but Faze have given themselves a fighting chance. Does Nico go for the info on short B?
I love it.
He hears the footsteps above him.
Oh, okay. It's hard to tell him to keep walking there because he knows a team like Fnatic might just hold up and post. I don't know. Maybe if he really knew how low Kerrigan was. I wonder if Kerrigan calmed his health. Because if I'm Nico there and I know my teammate's low, I'm probably just going to try to flank there, realizing that he's going to lose the duel if they walk up A. If they go back B. I mean, I guess he can get the 1v1. It's never black and white with CS, but coulda, shoulda, woulda, hindsight. I got the X-ray mode here. I feel like a god.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's always a tough one. We have so much information. Sometimes it's a bit easy to forget.
Yeah, totally.
And that's actually sometimes what also makes it amazing is we have all this information, and sometimes you see the players who just clearly don't, but they still like are so smart to consistently make the best possible plays. And so the fact that we always have all the information, I feel like it's that situation where if we removed, you know, like the X-ray and a bunch of stuff, you know, throughout the entire round, and you watch them make these plays,
Yeah.
your mind would actually be blown by how little information they actually had, but still got the call right.
I could totally tangent this right now because I was curious about like broadcasting CS in general. Like I felt like in 1.6, and there was also wall bangs, but there's a lot more like wow factor. I felt like sometimes with plays because you couldn't see through walls. So you'd be like, whoa, like that guy just snapped to that guy, snapped to that guy, and everyone's like, if you don't do that, why are you even playing at this level? Like you're not like. So, anyways, the tangent over. Eco round.
No, it's a good point. But Guardian is going to start things off well for Faze, the only man with a strong weapon, and he is finding frags. Fnatic, do they want to double down on this, just keep going B, or do they want to respect Guardian?
Ooh. Gotta be real careful. Guardian's got 6 bullets left, pushing through the smoke, but Guardian's managed to hide in all of this. Oh, I think he might have seen someone, but completely blind. At some point with the flash blank, Guardian still lurks. Surely they've heard the scope. Crim's quicker on the trigger finger. Maybe that will save Fnatic. Guardian so dangerous on the B bomb site. There's a minute to play with, and Fnatic will feel very exposed. Crims has a smoke, but where does he put it?
Sandbag. Wait. Maybe? He said, nah. I'm just gonna kill you.
Crims is 14-2 right now.
Smoke on the site to give more space to plant the bomb. Oh, Kerrigan spotted as well. It'll be really difficult now, but he's got nothing to lose. This 1 versus 2.
Nicely done by Crims. I have to say, in that last engagement as well, Crims could have re-peeked the pillar at the same angle for the player with the deagle. But he repositions, he delays a little bit, he wants to catch that player moving out. I think there's a lot of players who just say, hey, I'm going to win this duel. And he's been hot this game so far. But I think it really goes to show, I think we were talking yesterday about how some players, when they're on a hot streak, their tempo is always high. Whereas,
a little bit of a bloodlust, almost.
Yeah, exactly, like the bloodlust. And the Crims, he always is very good at like reassessing after every frag.
And you have to and go. Players like Force and stuff used to get away with it at 1.6, and it was honestly a blast to watch. Force and Neo, they would like run up mid on Inferno, kill the Arch guy, and just plow all the way through A, and just get a 3K. But yeah, you have to respect the engine. And just the like you're saying, the pre-aim. Give the person time to guess if you're going to peek.
Yeah, I feel like Flasher, Crims, like these players are so smart with that. And this position from Exist, a very forward position, actually unaccounted for. Exist gets himself 2 frags off the rifle. Can he get out of there? That's the mission now. He can't, but he's done more than enough damage if you consider that. Only JW remains at this point, and this should be the second round on the board for Faze, a much needed round. And maybe JW can do something magical.
They have enough AWPs already, so that's not a concern. Just needs to take money away from these CTs. Oh, okay. Could have been worse. Guardian will trade. 3 people survive, including both sniper rifles. That's something for Faze, of course. They need to avert crisis now and get a consecutive round. And they may put Fnatic on eco if they're able to do that, it seems. It's a great second kill from Exist.
It's a pretty dirty off angle. Like, it's very hard to actually peek into it. It's very hard to trade it, and you're kind of like limited by the wall when you peek as a terrorist. It's pretty strong. And because he pushed with a teammate as well, they really didn't expect it. Rain in a very strong position as well. The AK can't quite find a good engagement just yet, but perhaps he can if he continues, and he will. That's another one. Well, that's the first one for him. He's lost his teammates in amongst the smoke. He needs to get more frags here. Rain doing damage, running out of bullets though.
You can see how he goes into that zone right when he knows he's backed in the corner. he like relaxes. It's like you could almost see his body language change. Like he relaxes his shoulder, his hand steady, and he's just like, feed me the one tap. So you saw the heads running into his crossing. It's really cool to see that.
It's nice the little movements as well, picturing in his head with certain timings where people are most likely to come from and where's to best place yourself for more than one opponent, perhaps. Exists with less than 10 HP from the short B position. As you wait for Nico to run distraction, do they commit to this? Nico's coming from the same position, so this is a disastrous situation for FaZe. They are facing the reset and they are risking losing all these weapons, but what's a higher priority? Gambling for this. Seems they'll have to go for it. They can't get any more rounds. Flashbangs there, but it's not good enough. Nico will have to run away. Oh, timing. Not their day yet, FaZe. Not their match, perhaps, but we'll see. Still time to play, and you can never count FaZe out.
Chaos, carnage. All kinds of business there towards the fountain early in the round. That's one of the reasons why Overpass is fun, so diverse. So many options for both teams on both sides. But FaZe, unfortunately, getting resets. Very sad, isn't it? This is looking really rough for them so far. It's kind of cool that we have like 4 Fnatic matches back to back, just because Fnatic are always entertaining, no matter what the match looks like, just due to the fact that their players are so good at just creating fun rounds. It's like fun mid-round spots and clutches, outsmarting opponents, all that kind of stuff. They're very good at that.
It's cool to see them doing well with Lekro and Golden.
Yeah.
These new guys in.
Yeah, Golden's a really good fragger as well, which people don't talk about, because obviously you just look at him like he's the in-game leader, but he's a good fragger. He's clutched a lot of rounds for Fnatic as well. A lot of rounds.
Yeah, I think people look into the statistics. I mean, they lean a little bit too hard into the fact that his rating is like less than 1 in a lot of events. But it's like, again, it like never really tells the full story, and especially with a team like Fnatic.
He probably, like, if you were to ask him, he probably wouldn't even care if his rating ever, on average, went over 1. Like, he wants to be good, but he's looking at the trophy cabinet, you know? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Impact frags, baby.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
We were having a great convo on my stream the other day about this. Like, if a player goes 5-30, Stu was in there with me. Did he even have a bad match? Like, did you lose 16-14? Like, did they go, like, sure, that's pretty poor score line. Like, that's probably a bad match, but like realistically, did he get shot in the side? Was he sacrificing himself every round? Did he win 5 clean duels and all the other deaths weren't even clean duels? Like, there's a lot more to each death for sure than people look at.
That's actually a really good point. Like the clean duel thing. Like maybe you don't get another frag, but just your presence now in that one frag just maybe just disincentivizes the team from taking a bunch of different options.
I think that actually came from someone asking me a consistency question, which I get every day. Hey Jordan, I go 20-10 this day and then 5-10. I was like, well, you're never going to be consistent unless you're literally like a better fragger than everyone in the server if those are your only metrics. Yeah, what if you're going 10-15 but you won all of your duels and your other bomb sites losing their frags and then you have to rotate over? Just like it's happening right now to FaZe. Talked about some of their B players not having as much frags when Rain's over here stealing all the work.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's cleaning up. No one even seems to be aware of his presence. He's just too godlike. They can't even see him.
He's ominous.
He's John Cena.
You can't see me. Yes, I'm done talking.
That is crazy. The consistency question is always a fun one. It's definitely like what everyone is always searching for, and it's a beautiful one because human beings aren't consistent. Like mechanically, like you're just gonna have off days sometimes.
Yeah, I start going off my rocker when people ask that question. I'm like, well, what did you eat that day? I was like, you could literally, if you really want to start this conversation, you could actually go down to like, did you plan a full stomach? Did you get enough sleep? Were you mad at your girlfriend? Like these things can all affect you. You really want to get down to the consistency. I'll break down your whole life right now for you, but like you're actually asking the wrong question. You're saying, how do I get more frags every game?
Yeah,
and that's a completely different question.
That's a very good way to put it. Yeah.
You know, one day I was playing Zelda, right, and I accidentally launched a bomb arrow into my horse and blew it up and killed it. But I still was the beast on the servers, Jordan. I'm unstoppable.
I see what's going on.
What do you mean?
You're not judging your skills, right? You happen to kill that.
But you're going to say like I was really upset, but no, it's fine. It's a virtual horse.
I think maybe that's
no big deal. Got another horse.
Maybe just like you're just one with the dark side, James. You have to kill someone really close to you, and it like allows you to find your true strength. Who knows?
That's pretty dark, Dan.
I mean, it's the dark side, man. That's like,
Pretty
that's what you got to do. You got to.
I'm a big fan of Ares. I like Ares in Injustice. Pretty awesome character. Awkward. Exit spots a rat. He's got problems, creating some space for himself, but that also creates space for the T side. Now, can Fnatic really capitalize on what's going on towards Monster? I don't know. Lecro still harassing.
And a great decision there by Fnatic. I just want to chime in and say they didn't flash long A. Normally you'd flash long because you're worried about an opper, but they've already taken so much attention towards B that they don't want to give Guardian too much of a heads up. He's already deadly enough, even last second like this he's waiting, but they're able to get in the sight like that. Probably because they didn't throw too many early nades. At least gives them a chance to potentially bring back this 2v4 deficit. 2v5 actually. 3v5.
Guardian's trying to preserve himself as much as possible, keep the AWP in play, fall back, use a numbers game with Faze, and they're on a trade from Exist, leaving Crims alone in a 1 versus 3. We've seen him do nastier things and worse odds. Nico slowly creeping in. He was ready for it, but this time Nico will win.
I see that a lot, right, Dan? Where you see players in a mid-round situation at a lower level, because every time a pro team takes long A and they throw that flash, they think, oh, that's just what you do every time you're here. But there's a lot of situational stuff. It's retaking sites. You see players just throw a nade for no reason. I'm like, they had no idea you were there. They didn't know the timing or anything until you threw that flash. Don't throw a nade unless it has a counter reaction from your teammates, right? Don't throw the molly unless someone's ready to kill the guy fleeing, etc. That kind of concept. It's weird how sometimes people just use nades.
This is one of the bigger criticisms that Sean was mentioning when we watched Luminosity on Inferno. I forget which players it was, but they were just throwing nades, and you think about what the nade was supposed to be used for, and it doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of like this thing that they just do. It's like,
yeah, almost like switching guns.
Yeah, it's like there's no thought to it. It's a waste.
Yeah. Another exciting B pistol round here to hit some running Glock shots as rain about to rain down.
He's about to precipitate.
I haven't cast it long, guys. Give me a break.
It'll come. It'll come.
Pew pew.
Keep rubbing it.
Nico in the CT water with his Glock. He's close range and he's dead. 3 Ts remain. Now it's Rain and Guardian. Oh dear, well, this is quite the round from Fnatic, isn't it?
Look at me, honey, I'm hang gliding. Oh, I'm dead. Wedding Crashers, anybody?
Ooh. No, I haven't seen that.
I felt a good time to insert a joke in the 1v5 there. I would have let you bring the hype if Brian didn't mind.
It's a very amusing film, Dan. I would recommend watching it.
Many laughs will ensue.
Very amusing film.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
4-12 here. Not looking too good from the boys from Faze, but how much can we really judge them? I haven't been watching Faze a lot. How many maps have they played with this? Do you guys have any idea?
We can bring up the leaderboard afterwards. I think it's
stick around for that. Ooh, the little boosty, which probably won't avail to much as they only have Glocks. Do they have any flashes? No, and Flusha.
Oh, this could be good.
Ready to drop a big Flusha down the toilet.
Flusha toilets. God. There it is. On to the next one.
I'm level 1 face it with my references here. I need to update to level 10. You guys are like level 12 to 14. Casting level jokes.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I have consistency problems.
Yes.
I choose to make level 1 jokes sometimes. I like to just bring that cringe sometimes and just make people at home just feel that pain in their chest, you know, like, oh my god.
Like when you start talking about scabs for just like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You talk about scabs.
Peel the scab.
Peeling scabs. Brilliant.
Raiden beating the Molotov, and who is that at A? Are they aware of it? They did a cool B push. We used to do that on C9, but it doesn't matter. There's no one's out there. It looks like Faze might be aware of this as they creep up A, but who's that left in the side? He's jump spot over there.
Lecro riddled the connector door from outside Monster now, so they've given the game away in that regard, and Faze can maybe capitalize on this.
This is not the gun.
Doesn't have the range with the MP9, but maybe he's trying to run this match and manage to survive with his life, and under the counter flash. Oh, is he going for the second kill? No, Guardian with 2.
That smoke, which I think came in from JW, is literally the MVP of the round there if Golden gets 2. Because that literally created a dichotomy for the entrance to the bomb site. Without that, what James said was the distance. The distance stopped becoming a factor because that smoke forced the T's to either run the wide route or run close along the wall, which immediately gave him a chance at a double kill and maybe even kept him alive in this round.
Oh, they're actually getting some frags as they re-enter, and there is a kill on Crims, so it can't come out just yet. Right now, as they start to push forward down to Crims, and he's an absolute god still, 1v1. That bomb ticking away, just enough time, he taps it. Will he go for the hold? No. Oh! How does he always get this? Crazy. This guy is just unreal.
Freddie Crims Jr., that's my new nickname for him.
The other times I've like casted him just 1v3 clutching on this bomb site, it just happens all the time.
Absolute animal is Crims. I think I was just really unlucky not to get the second kill there. I fully expected it to come, but you got Crims, man.
I'm surprised this peaked. Maybe because the smoke was up, he just felt like maybe the guy would be able to tap or something. Because that's an easy 1v2 if this doesn't peak there.
The crazy thing is that Crims is 19 and 7. Obviously, he's beasting. Golden 17 and 8. What's Golden been doing? He's getting loads of frags as well.
He's been putting it out there. He's out there, man. Hashtag Skadoodle. He's out there.
He out there.
Never coming off.
Love me some Skadoodle. Oh, flusher off too. Man, this is just like psychological warfare at this point. You can't even stand somewhere.
This is my favorite type of Fnatic to watch. Like when it's like, because I mean Fnatic are like the team where when they're dominant, they're just so good. They're just so dominant, and it just empowers them even more. And so when we have Dave just like this, where it's just Fnatic matches all over the place, it's just so fun to see. Like who can stop them, and what does it take? What does it take to actually stop them? Because right now they look really imperious. They look very good. I mean, look at that. Flush is just. I'm just gonna push you guys down. 1v1.
Hey, Rain, are you good at Counter-Strike? I'm just gonna swing.
They have to be extremely frustrated right now. Yeah. Extremely frustrated.
Rough game, for sure.
And it's one of 2 games.
And
it's one of 2.
How long is this supposed to be with him? Because, you know, if it's...
We don't know.
We don't know?
Yeah.
Because, like, how many maps could they have really found comfort on yet?
Mirage is the next one.
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting.
Oh, that will be a lot of fun.
All these players on their different iterations of teams have been good on Mirage. So.
It's the trade. So Nico in the 1 versus 4 with 8 seconds on the clock, and it seems he will run to his doom. Oh! A short highlight in shrouded in disaster and misery, depression, squalor.
Yeah, his holes in his jeans just got a little bit bigger than that one.
Yeah, man, they are expanding. This is the thing. This is why I don't understand why people buy jeans like this.
Seeing a whole lot of knee there, Dan.
I know, it's just
a whole lot of knee.
If you really want to fit into
knees.
culture, I feel like you need to only wear joggers with the Ultra Boost, and you need to convert to some kind of like hipster Toms with the torn jeans.
It's true, it's true.
You really want to be a Californian for a couple months.
Yeah, I've messed it up, haven't I?
Now,
gotta fix this.
I don't know if I'm gonna eat food near you anymore.
It is really weird here. People, it's so different. Like this particular area, how like, everyone dresses and stuff is a lot more street.
Actually, stay as far away from me as you can. Remain wholesome.
Remain wholesome. Stay wholesome, lads. That's almost something James would say, but fast push here into the A side. Looks promising for Faze. Very promising indeed, but Lekro and Flusher are left alive. And their money can't be horrendous. It is horrendous. Well,
it's not great.
It's not great. I think horrendous it would be worse than this.
Yes. They have too many zeros for it to be horrendous.
It's true.
Round number 5 for Faze. A long road to come back, but maybe even if they are to lose this, obviously the odds of that are high. If they could string some rounds together, at least it would get them out of the memory of rampant failure and domination from their opponent. If they can have some success.
That's a thought.
Bring the spirits up.
I remember the old Fnatic guys 1.6. I remember Karn always was kind of a firm believer. If he got crushed and he was at game point in a best of 3, he would just make sure his boys went into more of an autopilot mode. He's like, let's just grab the back, but don't put pressure on yourselves. Just so the next map we have all of our vitality ready to kind of crush them. And I don't know. Maybe you can go both ways. SK seems to take it, you know, don't get pushed over the edge until we do. You know, keep fighting and maintain that kind of fight from start to finish, rather.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's different approaches, I guess.
I can really see that the differences there culturally, actually, as well. Like, I think that's probably a big impact as to how you would want to do it.
That's interesting. That would be a really interesting combo. Some of these things would be like to actually have sample case studies and actual, like, beyond our anecdotal conversations. And Nico giving Electro a little anecdotal bullet. Kerrigan trying to say, hey guys, I'm here too.
Just like the image, just Nico just running in, just one bullet, bye, run out again.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to lift the spirits. They're on the AKs now, but have they waited too long? A nice off angle from Golden. Gets himself 2.
Ooh.
Wasn't expecting the 3rd player, but a fighting chance he has given them.
Like, I feel like if he knows there's 3 coming and gets the 3rd kill, that was a really nice spot.
Yeah, he didn't take any damage before the first 2, pretty much.
It's a real nice spot. Now, Faze will go into the B-bomb site. Nico spotted moving forwards by JW. Will that cause a rotation? Or JW be left to his own devices to try to 1v3 this? He knows exactly what's going on. Nico rotating behind the flames. Can JW... Ooh, just able to get the instant smoke down, but can't get out of dodge in time. Gets chased out. Down and out. Flusher now in the 1v3. Able to do some good work to get further forward as the bomb is planted, but the double peek is very nice from Faze.
And I just want to chime in and say that's another great play by Nico right there. So if you saw what happened, JW's on the right there and he spotted him. When Nico knew that JW was in a position and where he couldn't see what Nico was doing and Nico's so low, just by Nico like shooting a bullet and then falling back was so smart because JW has to respect that person's there and then eventually gets pinched by a ghost because no one was there anymore and the 2 guys just flank him with that worry. And I feel like at a lower level a lot of players might just go out monster there because they're like, hey, my team's running out sandbag and short, I gotta go with them. But no, you're only a detriment going out with such low health, cause a distraction and then stay alive. 1 HP alive is much more than not being there, you know? So it's a great play by Nico. Knowing how to die is a big skill set that a lot of pros have, and I think it's a very underrated topic. I hope CS is alive in like 30 years and we have like manuscripts on this stuff.
Yeah.
Words printed in the tablets.
The fires of Bardolph will go down in flames and it'll be at the Library of Alexandria.
All my texts will be sunken in a trench.
You take them with you scuba diving, the last scuba trip. Never come back. Maybe you'll discover Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, James, on your scuba trips.
There's already coordinates for that.
Bardolph.
If you watch that Disney movie, they've already found it. So just kind of rewatch. They have the... Is it Disney? It's a great movie. Did you guys ever watch that animated movie of Atlantis?
No.
I loved it.
I don't do Disney.
Okay, well, I've never come back to ECS again.
Why do you hate your happiness, James?
Too many pretty bright colours and big eyes. It's weird. Gives me nightmares, all those big eyes. Lions that can talk and things like that. What's going on?
Atlantis is super cool. Anyways, 15-7, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive.
I want to go back in time to before this conversation. B push.
Is that not it? Yeah.
Getting in there. They're getting it in there. Whilst it's good, whilst the going's good, but the going's actually terrible. Necro is going to annihilate everyone, including his teammates. He cares not.
Well, I should get out of my way. I'm trying to kill this.
Guardian looking for something. He's lurking with an AWP. Well, he's last man standing on the B-bomb site. He's carrying the bomb as well. The tag won't be enough. 16-7 Fnatic with a dominant match of Overpass versus Faze. Very dominant indeed.
Yeah, I mean, Nico gave them some additional time. He bought them some extra time on Overpass, but inevitably, Fnatic are the victors. And, I mean, they started out really strong. We saw a lot of confidence. Fnatic, to me, they just seem very consistent at the moment. Like, really good form from all the players. We keep seeing Crims clutching, Fletcher always doing his thing. The only player, really, for me, that we're seeing sort of less of than we used to is maybe JW a bit, like some of his crazy antics.
And I do think, to your point, with every system, different players find their kills more so than others. You know, you find star players go to support on different teams, etc. It's really cool to actually see. I think the switch is part of that consistency, because if you think about it from like just a high level, the difference between like a Crims and a JW, if JW is your star player, that's probably a much more random effect. Not because his skill set isn't amazing, but just because Lekra or Crims is a much more, I don't know, you think of his playstyle, right? Very solid and very consistent, not too many risks.
Definitely.
Look at that, Crims, 21 kills and not a single assist. He is simply executing people. And that is great to see. And that's another strength about Fnatic, is that they have so many powerful factors in their team, like the fragging of Crims, Golden, JW, that you don't necessarily need them all firing at the same time to have a performance like that, which is a scary thought. Mirage is going to be the next map between these two sides. That will be coming up after the break. But before we go, a reminder, tickets are available for the ECS finals. Wembley.csgoleague.com. Pick up your tickets and get to the finals. Maybe you'll see Fnatic there. Maybe you'll see Faze there. Only time will tell. And we'll see you after the break for Mirage.
So James, just got an email from Faze headquarters, and apparently there's loads of new merchandise from ECS, and they want us to make a promotional video.
What about that life, Dan? I made a ton of stuff. You know, it's not all about getting paid. I think that's really sad. Hey, kid.
Me?
Yes, you. How would you like to win some Face It points?
Face It points? What are those?
Face It points are points you can collect playing on Face It or watching ECS. You can redeem those points to get items such as new skins, hardware, computer chairs, or a new car.
A new car? That sounds like the bee's knees.
It sure is, Timmy. Now run on home and start earning those points. Heya, Billy.
Well, holy mackerel, mister, you scared the jeepers out of me.
How would you like to win some Face It points?
Face It points? I sure would.
Well, just make sure you connect your YouTube account and Face It account and you'll be right as rain.
Can I earn them without linking accounts?
No can do, Billy. You'll have to link both accounts, but don't worry, linking them is easy as pie.
Gee willikers, mister, thanks.
No problem, Billy.
This season of ECS, we are giving away 30 million Face It points, so make sure your YouTube account is connected to your Face It account.
Boom, hello, and welcome back. Dan was just asking me why there is a switch missing from my... I guess you could put it, but let's go top-down camera. You can see that there's a switch missing here. He was asking why. And actually, some people on the mechanical forum were asking why. It's no particular reason. It's simply because I didn't have enough switches because I bought them separately. So, because I'm very particular about my switches, so at some point I need to order some more. I'm actually making 2 keyboards for Hector from Optic. So when I order all his parts, I'm going to order 1 switch for my keyboard. Just the 1 switch.
But
I like this keyboard. This keyboard is such a nice build, but I just don't know, because this basically 60% keyboard. This is like 65 or something. It comes with a column of keys here and the arrows, and I just don't know if I can have them in my life.
I like it. I like it.
We move to Mirage. Faze looking for redemption to show what they can actually do, because Fnatic simply did not allow them to really in the first one. Faze will be starting though. On the T side, they'll have the AKs first, and that might make quite the difference.
JW, easy frag. Easy frag. Easy frag. There we go. Oh, easy frag. Looking pretty good right now for the Fnatic side. This is not how Faze want to start this game off. They need to make sure that Fnatic don't just get to start with everything. This is not a good sign, guys. This is a bad sign. It's a bad sign.
Just wait for the AKs, mate. Wait for the AKs.
Or the Deagle right here that Nico has. That's a half changer.
There we go. Nico Deagle. Scouts on Crims. We have seen some amazing scout recently.
Amazing.
Amazing
oh, no!
scouties. Whoa, that's not cool.
It's so weird, this game. Like, you can have a player standing on top of you, and if you right-click your knife, you'll stab him in the back. Even if you're not looking up, just looking forward. It has happened on more than one occasion.
Scouts happened again. It's happened. Failure is everywhere, James. It's everywhere. It's pervasive.
Omnipresent. Persistence.
Failure is the thread that weaves through all things in this round.
It's good. You need to fail to progress in life. Failure is essential. It is a must. It is a requirement. You must learn from your mistakes. You must fall down. You must pick yourself back up.
Yep.
And you learn what is right by doing wrong.
It's ironic, isn't it? I can't be factually incorrect. I can't be doing this. Cannot be doing this.
The funny thing is, the audio is so clear, it sounds like you're saying it right now.
Yeah.
So it could really mess you up.
Where's your lint roller, James?
You took it away and put it on my desk.
Oh. The man must keep on top of his lint.
It's too fast, man.
I need to...
Okay, Dan's left.
From God.
I don't know where Dan's going.
The first time they did that, it threw me off because I looked over and he's not talking, but I hear him like whispering in my ear. I was like, what is happening? Production.
Yeah, there
Classic.
are many... I mean, by the end of this season, we're going to have like the biggest soundboard of all time. It's funny when those guys used to do soundboards from events and so on, and there just wouldn't be enough soundboards to really... They would never have like everything that I said, because, you know, I have a lot to say.
I need to add that to my stream. I need to get like a board just with a bunch of like...
Yeah?
Because I have the Elgato stream deck or whatever.
Yeah, get them takeovers going as Fnatic tries to take over the first buy round. Crips creeping through the smoke, and that's Guardian taking out immediately. That's the AWP gone. That has to be frustrating. Exist getting his bow run through the smoke. Fnatic get everywhere.
Yeah, that's what they do. Push everything. Our strategy is to go everywhere at once. However, after getting the initial frag on Guardian, they are being whittled away. The health is low on the remainder of Faze, but they should be fine here. Unless Golden gets a cheeky double. Buys Lecro time to get into the action. And he's unable to do so. So Lecro, he can... This scout is essentially an AWP right now because of how tagged up everybody is, but that's not something that Lecro necessarily knows. He's got the CZ equipped instead as he waits for the perfect timing, hoping for someone to offer themselves up, which is a smart way to do it. Because see, the money's very good for Fnatic and also good for Faze. So Lecro is very incentivized to get kills. Let's see some kills, Lecro.
Incentivized.
This is... Imagine if you're waiting here for like, you know, a good 20 seconds and then that starts happening. It's scary, man.
I wonder if...
Is he going to try? He doesn't have a kit. Oh, okay, he's just getting the M4. I'm sad he didn't try to get kills. I feel like getting kills is more value than the M4 in this situation, but...
It literally is, right? More value, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Especially if you have the lead and you want to reset them.
Money for Faze would have been pretty awful if they lost 2 players.
Yeah. Let's see how this money plays out.
I mean,
it could mean an extra AWP in a tight spot.
Yeah, yeah, very true. It's funny because I think we more rarely see teams look after their own economy. Teams mostly seem to be more interested in trying to pressure the other team's economy. So it's cool to see that difference.
Nice. I always like it when the window's been popped early. JW taking Carrigan down immediately. Does he detect the other player in mid? Around connector now. Crims is there, and Rain's messed up his jump. He's given his position away. There's another jump for him. Deep smoke into CT. Flush asking questions towards the B bomb site. A grenade will do some damage, but not massive. JW getting greedy.
So
and again,
weird.
yeah, they knew Rain was in connector, so...
I think that's one of the worst peaks in the game, quite frankly. There could be so many angles, like even if you have info that all of top mid is clear, if one guy has like a weird off angle under the window, he always sees your barrel.
Yeah, like heavily geometrically disadvantaged.
Yeah.
It's like that you're so close to the wall.
Unless you're like low HP and trying to like play a headshot type thing when you have a teammate connector, cat. But Crims wasn't even there where he was just died from. Now it's a 3 versus 4 from the 5-on-4, and it looks like Golden's about to get a golden ticket. I don't know how that played into it, but he's dead.
He died. I do wonder partly if Fnatic are, you know, when they're in the zone and everything's going their way, if they will do things which don't necessarily make the most sense just because they can. And if it succeeds, it's even more tilting to their opponent and just will have a fair chance of impacting their opponent's performance negatively.
For JW, it always seemed like that, right?
Yeah, because I feel like that's part of the power of Fnatic is that there are certain times where they can just do whatever they want no matter what your level of skill is. And it's like, how do you not get extremely frustrated by that?
Well, yeah, people will give like something like JW criticism when I remember like last major, they weren't doing so hot in a match, and he like walked to the overpass monster smoke with an op that the CT threw, and he just died kind of looking stupid. And everyone was just calling him like a bot. I was like for him to be a bot at whatever level he's functioning at is like still beyond like whatever you're like perceiving is happening right now. So like yes, that was very poor, like nothing came of his play. But like by him doing that, if that would work, if the guy was like say pillar at overpass on that round, he got the kill, like now the whole meaning of that smoke changes for you as a CT the rest of the half.
Yeah.
And so anyways. Tangential. Big control here, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, Faze not really too interested in committing too much to it just yet. Fnatic's initial barrage of grenades will deter them, and they'll decide to go for a set piece onto the A site pretty quickly. Nico being the lurker, coming out of underpass into mids. And otherwise, everyone up pits. So very simple, very basic A take. We'll see if it works out for them.
Golden with the MP9, super awkward angles, but Rain will trade from the Tetris position. Clearing Sandwich, moving over, clearing the bench, clearing the stairs position, or trying to, but Crims is still there. In the meantime, we've got JW making a play towards CT. Meanwhile, Crims is going crazy!
My goodness.
Through the smoke, into Sandwich, and he will make a Rubin out of Faze.
It's wild because a second before this, I was going to comment if Fnatic won the round because they were actually not doing a great job of watching that connector flank, and Nico was, you know, just taking his time because his team hadn't died. You don't really need to speed up that lurk unless your team's just falling apart. Unless, of course, they all fall apart at once like they did, and he has no choice but to just keep doing what he's doing. But if Crims doesn't make this play, Fnatic loses that round 100% in my mind. Unless Nico whiffs from the flank, but like they were not watching the flank actively. Great play by Crims again to put the team on his back for a round.
His form is so scary right now. I do wonder like where you would place him as far as like best players in the world goes. Like, because I feel he's like rapidly got into the argument of like right at the top.
It is so interesting. That conversation sometimes irks me because it's like, you know, depending on where a team's at and how they're functioning and their style of play, like certain players don't get to really showcase a world, like someone who'd consider them #1 in the world, but on their team they're like doing a phenomenal job. Or Crims in this case has this role, but people could have been criticizing him earlier in the year. It's awesome to see him flip it on its head because a lot of people were criticizing him being out of his prime. So it's a cool. It is a conversation to be had. You could say who's the most mechanically skilled, who's the most impactful fragger, damage, etc. And Crims is someone who's not so flashy, is definitely someone who could be in that conversation of impact fraggers, which is so cool at this level to see someone who has been at the top for so long.
The timing of that play as well was so strong. Fnatic, though, not having the best of times right now, but JW still continues to harass in the middle area, and just like that, they turned around. Spotting one play towards Palace, nobody in CT, 2 players for Fnatic coming in from the short position. As the bomb needs to get planted, but what can Faze determine is open. They have no smokes, the smoke's disappearing, and Karrigan has to go for the gamble plant. Meanwhile, there's an exchange, and all his teammates have gone. And there's JW once again for his 3rd kill of the round. 5-2 for Fnatic.
Luckily, Faze got the bomb down. Will help their economy a little bit, but it's kind of scary because Fnatic are now placing themselves in a position where they can begin to snowball the game if they are successful in the next like 2 rounds. I imagine Faze will just sort of get some pistols here and just half buy, and then we'll see an AK round. So yeah, if Fnatic are able to have some good success in the next couple of rounds, we may have an overpass type situation on our hands. And it feels so awesome on Mirage on the CT side to have a good economy, but well, that happens every so often. The peak pre-fire with the Deagle, the crouch peek with it is very strong. And if something works out, as you see, Crims will get rid of the weapon. What a responsible guy. A responsibility.
Short peek. Flush is ready for it. They could go back to the well. Would you? Answers on a postcard. 2-0-2 set up for Fnatic, dealing with multiple places at the same time. Off angle, well, the less common boost peek towards CPL. Flush taken down in the meantime, but this is a still ill-equipped Faze. Karrigan with the CZ. Are there any weapons for them to collect? We know the AWP was taken away, but where is Flush's weapon? Perhaps Guardian's looking for it, and he picks it up.
Yeah, interesting situation for Faze. So much time has passed now, and the defense has become very passive for the CTs, as it normally would when you slow things down like this. In a 3v3. Guardian making a lot of noise, and that will be heard by Crims. Crims will win the peak. And now, like, it's increasingly difficult. How do they plant on this A site? Golden watching from CT with the AWP, and then you've got Crims to worry about from the jungle position. And, oh, that's a close miss there from Golden. The Incendiary was definitely going to help out. It will finish Karrigan off in the end, but the bomb will be planted in the meantime by Rain. Has Rain created an opportunity here? He's got the CZ, he's down to 2 HP, 10 bullets left, but Golden will take him down. And indeed, the round will go to Fnatic, but a pretty decent round from Faze, all things considered.
Not 2 alive. You want to get the numbers down like they did and get that bomb planted. So 6-2 is a score that could get, you know, at the higher level, this doesn't mean, you know, you still have a lot of confidence in this T-side, right? No matter what Fnatic's done to you yet, you just look at that score line and play round to round here, and I'm curious to see how Faze is going to reply. Like I said, I haven't been watching them play much at all lately, so it's really interesting to see their approach every round to me right now with Zist playing. Olaf to have someone who's really independent, and you could let him kind of just go on his own and do whatever. They say Zist has taken that role. Haven't seen him do that since 1.6, so kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
That 1.6 was a while ago now as well.
No, literally, yeah, Zist was a solid rifler, but I haven't seen him do that.
Exchange around connector. All of Faze now in the A bomb site, deploying some grenades of their own, forcing JW away. 3 on 3. 2 sniper rifles now for Fnatic. Flusher close in connector. Lecro waiting around jungle. Faze has fallen back off the site. 1 player in Palace and 2 on the ramp. Oh, Karrigan's going for the big flank. It is planted in that direction. So Faze will count on Fnatic having a slow advance. The Molotovs are out, but the clock is ticking.
There you go. JW might just try to stick this in the smoke. It's a good timing to do so. Carrigan, the spray long range from connected will work out. Lecro spinning around confused and bewildered. Will go down. Faze win a very, very critical round, and we can see how critical it is based on where the money's left for Fnatic. They're in a spot where they could actually... Crims could drop a rifle. He can buy for himself as well. And he's going to go AWP. So they're just going to force it up with this. I like it. I like when you get the AWP in a situation like this.
Especially around the connector area on a map like Mirage. There's so many, unless they literally all go up or B, you're generally going to have a chance to find a kill before they hit a strat. Because most teams opt for mid control, obviously.
He's in the right bomb side as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're going towards A, but it looks like he might... Yeah, they're not smoking off the right side of A, which is very common. They're giving him a chance to find some picks, but now they're aware of his op. They're going to throw all the nades they have at him. And get that bomb planted as fast as possible. Still have some utility up with Zist. Sensitive subject here is people got to move with the right paths out of the bomb site. Very easy for someone to get isolated here. Rain allowing himself to be isolated, but at a confident off angle, aggressively going to keep pushing into J-dubs. I really like when Rain's in these positions. He does exactly that right there. Able to take his own forward position, not really having backup, but still has the confidence to win those fights.
I like that Faze decided to go A because it's so hard for a team with really low economy to stop an A push. Unless you have unless you 100% know it's coming at the perfect forward positions.
You have to have like one guy on balcony maybe gets to kill Palace or something.
Yeah, you need those close guys, don't you? And then what are you going to do as a CTs for a retake? You've got no grenades. It's like so hard.
And then if they played smart and stay back, which is why it was unique that Reigns stayed up there. You know, sometimes it's tough to back off in this position because he knows they're going to swing on him. But really good job for him to get those 2 kills. 6-4 here. Faze is now pretty happy. They got the monetary advantage here going into the 11th round.
Guardian going in first towards the B Palmers with the AWP going deep.
Banking on somebody jumping on the box. This is very interesting.
That's such like a specific counter. Yeah, and it makes sense. He has a lot of cover. He has his boys behind him. He's got a smoke kind of angling him off.
Going deep with Guardian. And it has worked out wonderfully well. Bomb site for them. Nada for Fnatic. Nico on the hunt. And it would serve Fnatic really well to save these 2 guns. Are they buying in the following round? They must be, right? They did a full save here pretty much, so they have the guns left over. So with loss bonus, with the 3rd loss in a row, right? So $2,400 for this, so they can get a good buy-in. Especially if Flusher survives, which that would be pretty critical. He's trying to play this really safe by the Palace, and he should be, yeah, he'll be fine. No one can really get to him in time, so they will be able to buy happily. Well, I say happily, no one will have an AWP, which is actually kind of a big deal. Would be cool to see stuff like, you know, an underpass setup from Fnatic, just trying to take away middle, do something proactive. With the lack of an AWP, you feel like they want to be active here.
Wow.
Well, this is different.
Active towards the A bomb side. Double Palace push, maybe?
They put someone in sandwich.
Or just literally a straight up A stack. Interesting.
I like that. That's cool. We were talking with Sean about this the other day. He was saying that not enough teams sort of just throw stuff like that in the mix.
I think it actually might be Kerrigan. Someone was talking about at Cancun, I think, that like Kerrigan will hit the same bomb site every gun round. Like, ignore the eco rounds, but he'll maintain hitting the same bomb site until they lose a round at that site. There's some weird formula that someone figured out, and they're like, watch. And it was like, I think it might have even been Crims when I was sitting there with Lurpus talking. And so maybe they have a read that he wants that A, which is going to be incorrect. That's what the bomb is going up for B halls. But I remember them saying something along those lines with Kerrigan. Like Kerrigan has some formula that he follows by.
Imagine planting that information. Just like planting it somehow, like telling someone, some third
so
like
it gets
middleman
back to
party.
And he counters the counter.
It gets to Crims, and Crims is like, whoa. He's like, show him the right demos, you plant the demos.
That'd be awesome.
Lecro needs two.
It's like we hit B.
Guardian, he's been heard, but is he going to scope? Is he going for the quick scope? He's baited the shot out of Lecro. The pre-fire is there, but he can't get around the corner fast enough. Flusher faking with a pistol won't work out, and this rotation is falling off the map, falling off the track. Golden 1 versus 3, this is doable. 2 of the 3 players are on the site, but Guardian says no.
That awkward kill in apps from Guardian, if he loses that fight, they lose the round because there's the CT in apps, and the rotation can come in much more quickly as the CT and the apps can then stay alive. Like it's just like that one no scope, like desperation no scope was the difference between a round win and loss, I think.
Yeah, like I didn't see who that was on CT, but if he was dancing more, was that Flusher? No, that wasn't Flusher.
I'm not sure. I think.
But yeah, but I don't see that Rain got 2 big kills. So I didn't see what was happening. He hit the wall. Cribs didn't mean to stop there.
Awkward. Seems FaZe will take this game by the reins in the dying rounds of the first half, taking the lead following the conclusion of this one, unless something very weird happens. Flusher with a scout, Lecro with the P2 Fiddy. Hello.
Hello.
What does Carrigan do now? If he pushes and someone's around a corner, he's at risk of dropping his AK-47, and as his team haven't breached the site, that could cause calamity. So he's kind of trapped for the time being. But now he should feel safer about advancing, and he will slowly creep. Ooh, that was nasty. Ooh, that's bad.
Hello.
Hello. Oh! Mr. Jello. 250,000. Get the rub down going. Nice.
That is a lot of facing points. That's a quarter of a million, James.
It's a quarter of a million face-it points.
What, off the top of your head, is there anything, what could you buy with that?
You could buy an AWP Lightning and have lots of change. You could buy gloves. You could buy a pair of gloves with that. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 different gloves I think you can buy with 250k. And maybe some...
just try to peek Guardian right now.
Oh my god.
Just try to peek Ladislav. Try to. Okay, Lecro.
It took 2 people to take him down.
He created so much space so fast.
Curse your team, Lecro. You guys are now losing.
God damn.
That is scary, isn't it? It's been interesting to see like the effect of Guardian on Faze. Having an AWP that can do that, like just because it's a team where it's supposed to be that every player is capable of this, and so it's just that's I think one of the things that makes them difficult to play against, which is quite fun to watch too. But it reminded me of Inferno B when you on the T side you get like 2 instant kills on Banana and it's just like the round is just over immediately because it just happens too quickly. And now they're gonna go A, and there's Crimson's close with the Mag 7, maybe Mag 7 in the dream, but he's been spotted. Can't get any connections really. He's done some damage. Whoa, okay. JW with the last couple bullets, just somehow finding an extra frag, and all of a sudden FaZe players are falling like flies. Nico and Guardian left. Guardian critically weak. He is critical, and now he's put out of his misery.
What?
What indeed? What indeed?
What? Yeah. What is a very big question for those CZ kills. What on earth did we just witness?
Did we have that last one? Was he falling off? Or did he land?
Damn, son.
CZ he landed.
Ridiculous.
I was using 5.7 the other day because I was like, oh, it's probably still just as good, and I was just using it on stream, and it's like you could spam it and get kind of random. And like I found good, and I was like, all right, I'll go back to the CZ, and it just like. It's so easy to like literally you could tap it and get a 2-bullet or just spray it if you like start whiffing. You just literally hold mouse 1 and you trail away, pull down a little bit. Just get a like body kill and an AK'er.
Yeah.
It's like a FAMAS. The CZ is like a FAMAS with less bullets.
Dude, it's crazy.
So
stronger?
good.
Is it stronger per bullet? You would know, Dan. James. I do that all the time here. It's the first time today though.
I would check it if I had my laptop next to me, but it's too much information for the little phone. But I will look into it. It probably is similar to a FAMAS. I wonder about Armor Pen though. Probably better on a FAMAS, I would imagine.
Chat, I got a question for you guys. P2K or USPS? Everyone likes USPS.
I want to go PTK again. I'm going to go PTK
Thank
again.
you.
Yeah,
what have you got equipped?
I'm going to get nothing sticker and put it on.
What do you have equipped?
I have a free. I'll give you a P2K.
It might still be the P2000. it might be the USP. I was using P2K for quite a while recently. But that switched, I think, maybe
Around!
Ooh! Rain!
Yeah, just
That is your name and your alias. Look at him.
It's raining.
Looking for the
He's
ace.
just standing. Look at he just like
Hallelujah.
poised
Oh
warrior.
my god!
He didn't even mean to. He let his girlfriend grab the mouse now, and he's like, "Here, hon, I'm pushing ramp. I'll use keyboard."
That's quite the ace from Rain. That is quite the ace.
Bish bash bosh. We need more than
Was that 4
three
or
things
5?
to say.
That's an argument for the USP right there.
Yeah.
If he has a P2000, he's not getting an ace there.
Did he get 5?
Yeah, he got an ace, yeah.
Why
Because
not?
they didn't know where he was coming from. They didn't know where they were being shot from for the longest time. That's why I have to use USP, because it gives me space for error correction. It benefits me. It makes
What
me a
about
better
all
player.
the bullets you miss and you run out of ammo? You'd have more to.
I didn't run out of ammo with a USP.
I was just trying to.
I run out of
fill a low
targets.
blow.
I run out of targets, Jordan.
I think like P2K is tied to spread, right? So if you get the dink, you can just kind of spray and like you'll be pretty confident you're gonna get the frag and like faster fire rate on the
Yeah.
on the spray as well.
I've always
so.
liked it because the USPS, there is nothing like when you hit that first bullet with the USPS, it's pretty buttery.
It does feel good, yeah.
But the P2K just seems to treat me well.
Yeah, and I think the accuracy is basically like the difference is negligible. I think.
Yeah, I just feel like yeah, exactly. I feel like I can spam the P2K more. If there's smoke execs, I'm not scared to put a clip into it. If I'm like delaying for my team or something.
I was saying yesterday that I feel like the difference might actually be some kind of a placebo type effect based on the fact that the USPS, because the spraying it is kind of more awkward and because it's silenced, like you kind of know inherently I have to hit them in the head. So you really make sure you get that counter strafe in. You're getting that sort of like good first split accuracy, like really trying to do that. Whereas the P2K, I think a lot of people feel like you can kind of spam it a bit more. And so that's kind of how like I feel when I'm using both guns. So I need to like I need to like grind the P2K, I think, and just like really focus on like using it like a deagle sometimes, just like really taking my time. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, I think you're on point with it because that's kind of been my mantra. I love the P2K, and I think if you just kind of just shoot it pretty steady, it's always... You hit the first bullet, accuracy is still really good. I feel like I aim higher. I don't know, this is something I like tell my stream, but I don't know if it's like... If there's any weight to it really, but I feel like I aim at the very tip of the head with the P2K, whereas the USPS, I just aim at their face, and... I don't know, somehow it works better for me.
Yeah. The tip of the head, that's like very much 1.6, like...
Yeah.
1.6
all placebo, just like...
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We've got really good equipment for both teams. Guardian will whiff the first shot from Connector. And look at the B apartments. It's a party. It's a party, but no one hopefully will go to the kitchen because that kitchen is disgusting. They're going to make their way through underpass. Into middle. This might be a bit surprising for Nico, and they're going to boost 2. This is awesome. There is no one to spot this. Nico's going to be so surprised. He has no idea.
What is that?
Oh my god,
Wait.
this is nuts.
They just do a smoke into CT spawn from mid.
This is nuts. Fnatic just walking in. They have no idea. They're going for the pinch now. It's getting a little bit awkward. JW stuck in a corner. Seems like they didn't synchronize up all that well, but still, perhaps a distraction will allow them to breach the bomb site. But maybe not. This is a struggle.
Let's see if it works out for them. 2-on-2. That's a huge frag for Lekr, and he's got space to avoid the Molotov. Rain spotted now in that cat position. Lekr's in the red. Rain is dead. It was interesting, the guys in market started running for Fnatic, and I wonder why, because obviously they were completely undetected. And
I was curious too.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if maybe the jungle guy, because they threw that smoke spawn, and just had to call it. Like, I think they're flanking, like, because he did seem kind of aware from it, so you never know.
That was really cool, though. I don't think I've ever seen a round quite like that, where they literally just walk in, boost 2 people, both go into the shop. Like that's for the B split. That is so sick.
Wow. Those are 2 huge frags from JW.
Gets wrecked.
Saw player 2 while shooting player 1. Grim's just creeping with a deagle, why not? Fnatic are back again, causing colossal problems. So that's one of 2 players spotted in Karrigan. Where is Nico? That's the question. As Karrigan is dispatched of, jettisoned into the sun.
He died. Nico will get a couple kills at least. There's one. Peeks with the flash. Lekro is awaiting. Bomb making its way to B. Nico, if he gets the right read here, he's going towards A.
Yeah, I think he's heard JW scoping in connector, and it sent him in the wrong direction.
That was another like talking about Orpus scoping and sort of creating deception. Yesterday we saw an amazing run on Cobblestone from Team Liquids on the T side where they had an A sort of they were going for an A play, 3 players through A long, just walking it, and like very late round, and they got steal like into the drop zone, so like it kind of sounded like, you know, he's maybe lurking, but then they start faking with keeping an AWP towards plateau without peeking, just scoping. So it kind of sounds like it's going to be a B play, just because you hear
the
you hear drop take in and you hear the scoping, but it's actually an A play, and they walk all the way. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's real beautiful.
I like that. I mean, we've already seen. That's kind of like an add-on to like people just sending the opera alone late anyways. But now they're not like over-committing it. They're actually like doing it more subtly, which lends to the fake actually happening more. Because if you're too obvious, the meta goes out the window.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a subtlety of that. That's really neat.
And it works out really well too, because the rotation, I think, or twist, is that it actually goes into middle, and because the ranges work out so well, it's actually the rotation time is not actually too horrendous. But either way, we'll see if Nico can do something with the AWP that he has. Saved. Close setup towards pits. Crims, he's creeping. He's creeping in the palace. And Rain has given his position away in the window, so now the Fnatic players are alerted. Oh, he's got a Thug Life sticker. Thug Life.
Minute 10. Possession of mid for Fnatic. Not often you see 2 players boosted into the window. Normally it's just the one. Bomb has been collected, but where is Lekro going? Exiting the B apartments. Crim's slowly emerging towards A. I think Exist is in a shadow position. One of 3 players on the A site for Faze. No, he's above at the moment. 3 players coming in from connector, and there's the AWP onto Nico, taking Golden down after a tag on another player. Missing the shot though on on A ramp, and that's going to change everything, although, Guardian's collected it. But there are too many targets. The positioning's too good for Fnatic, and he's unable to fire a shot. Now it's down to Rain. Exist still hasn't revealed his position. 20 seconds left, and this is collapsing. It's JW versus 2, and he's going to give it up. What a turnaround.
Yeah. when Guardian picked up the AWP, I was like, oh, it's over.
The movement was so peculiar from different people that round. At any given point, Nico would have died faster if someone swung. Rain would have died faster if the connector guys committed. Then he would have got a double if he didn't. Yeah, that was one of those rounds you can't really count either team out to the last second.
Money sucks for Fnatic now. Really, really sucks. But same for FaZe. I mean, they're in a position where they can get reset, so there's a lot of hope here for Fnatic in the following rounds to try to mount a comeback of sorts, and they will actually spend everything pretty much. Flusher, a little bit late to it, but he will also get himself an AK. Kevlar, no helmet on Mr. Flusher. And it's Lekro to go down through the smoke, I believe, from Guardian. And 2 players quickly up the underpass into mid from Fnatic. And the grenades are doing a great job just running the gauntlet and getting annihilated like lemmings off the cliff.
Off the cliff.
What was that bird that like picks up goats and just like drops it off cliffs? Is that
I don't remember.
Do you remember? It's like
kind of hawk or something.
I remember like we used that for like a good few segments. We were just like laughing about that for most of the day.
Is that just a bald eagle?
Maybe
it is. I don't know.
I don't remember which one it is.
Someone tweet us if you know the answer to that. Please tweet us. We really like animal facts. We like to understand nature.
Nature is Scary is one of my favorite Twitter accounts. If you are weak of hearts,
yeah, eagle.
don't go there.
I have a clip of an eagle throwing a goat off a cliff to its death.
Why are you laughing at that?
No, I just found it funny.
You're savage.
Because just because of the addition at the end,
Someone dying.
throws the goat off the cliff to its death. I feel like I don't know, like Be amazing to see if there was in an instance where the goats actually managed to actually survive that.
I wouldn't want to see that. Surviving, falling off a cliff.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for goat, man.
Don't know how long he's going to survive for.
Dude, this is crazy.
Ah.
Ooh, money has been broken.
Of course, there's it's a condor.
A condor?
So it's the bird.
What is a condor, anyway?
It's a massive bird. It's a massive bird.
It's a massive bird.
Now he's spreading his arms out like he is a bird.
Let's get kind of some wings
Oh,
in front of the balcony.
We need to have a better hiring process, James. Who are we letting in into the studio? Just flapping his arms
I know,
around.
Dan, but you were hyped before I was, so I couldn't do anything about it. We've seen it, yeah.
Listen, it's an eco round here. So pay attention to the goat. No P250 on Lecro. Is he going to do something for us here? We've paid a lot of money to watch this, Lecro. Just kidding. It's free to watch on youtube.com/faceit.
Boom. At least you know the link. Sean Gares doesn't.
Wow. Sean, you're listening right now.
We miss him.
Sean, come up to Santa Monica if you're listening, actually. Get a couple beers.
We'll have to get you both in one day together. Just have like Cloud9 alumni show. That'll be fun.
Why don't we just get Ska,
get Shroud in there.
Ryan, Shroudy.
Where does Shroud live?
Probably an hour from here.
Oh, really? Yeah, let's get Shroud in, man.
Mike would just sit here and be like, you guys got a second PC for me to stream?
We can do that. We got that.
He plays PUBG on the broadcast of CS. Guardian. Guarding middle. This is, I'm going to stop.
I keep doing it. Just do it. Just all the
Five-man
time.
mid-take. This is really interesting. I've been trying to talk about this concept. If you're going to take cat, have a teammate go connector. If you're going to take connector, have a teammate go cat. And they're not doing that lightly at all, as they have 2 guys in connector, 3 guys up cat. 1 under window, actually, now. And they're taking control, and Kerrigan saying, hey, guy, get on my head. This says,
hey,
yes,
you.
sir.
Hey, you.
Faze,
get on my head.
Fnatic says, hey, we're leaving. That's interesting. 5-man mid-control, gave up upper B. Easily could have been an upper B push, but they had the read. They said they're too scared to push upper B. So they took mid with 5. If they were to get kills connector, they would have turned this into an A strat. Didn't happen. It's now a 5 versus 3 converging on B. Just kind of walk. This is a contact round. There's no exec. There's no point to throw any nades here on Fnatic. They're just waiting for some action to happen. Lecro dies right here. You're going to see him come out upper B fast. Watch. They're going to swing. They're not actually going to go into much here, as Faze guessed right. They're actually going to go into a lot there, but they're not going to yield much from that, as Faze was ready and they guessed correctly. I'm kind of surprised they did that, because I don't... Did someone from Faze push a ramp? They guessed correctly on that rotate, and sometimes that's how Counter-Strike goes. Faze could have easily fell back and guessed A, but because of... I didn't see the A side of the site, but something told them not to.
Well,
that was a good guess.
Yeah, it's good guarding of the B apartments from Guardian.
They should have never won that round. But who's to tell them they shouldn't have? Not me.
Match point for Faze. Looks like a frustrating round for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's cool to see in the sense, you know, Faze doing to Fnatic what Fnatic did to them on the previous map, in a sense that, you know, just shutting them down, hopelessness, frustration, despair, all these things. All these horrible things. Oh, the mid push here. Faze want to finish it off fast. Rain straight up there and back down again to safety.
The JW's window smoke just bounced off the fence ledge.
Oh dear boy. Peppering. 4 on 2. There aren't that many CTs on the site right now, but Fnatic are feeling quite claustrophobic in those apartments. Golden of 33 HP. Golden, no more with his knee pads. 16-9 in favor of Faze Clan.
Didn't look like that way to start either. Fnatic came out hot. What was it, 6-1 at one point?
Yeah, they picked up where they left off at in their most dominant part of Overpass, but ultimately it's Faze Clan taking it over the line, and I think Faze Clan need that psychologically as well as the points on the board. Didn't have the greatest of starts to the ECS season, but there we go. We've got a victory on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's sort of, you know, to be expected between these two teams to have a game such as this, just a huge amount of individual plays and clutches. Honestly, like, for example, the first map, a lot of the ability for Fnatic to snowball Faze came out of crazy clutches from the likes of Crims. Those two really huge clutches from him, which sort of set the tone. And we see similarly here for Faze, and you can see that Rain had a pretty damn good game here. And we saw the start to the second half with a pistol ace from Rain to definitely encourage people to switch to that USP. If you're not on it, I'll be switching away from it. And yeah, awesome. I can't wait to see the scoreboard at the end of the European broadcast, because I think things are starting to flesh out a little bit. We're a bit far away from really seeing what kind of shape it's going to take, but right now it's really only Astralis that's like, okay, these guys are clearly at the top, like, and they can't be shifted. Everything else is in flux.
Yeah, we will soon find out. Coming up at the top of the hour, it's going to be mausesports versus Fnatic. Overpass will be the first of 2 maps, so we look forward to that. We'll discuss that at the time. We'll see you back here in around 20 minutes.
So James, just got an email from Faze headquarters, and apparently there's loads of new merchandise from ECS, and they want us to make a promotional video.
Not about that life, Dan. I made a ton of stuff. You know, it's not all about getting paid. I think that's really sad. If you're a fan of crutches, then get your hands on this. But now let's focus on an even greater product, Taser.com, a competitive gaming platform.
Wow, James, that sure sounds amazing.
It is amazing, Dan. On Taser, you can find the toughest dudes in the galaxy.
I heard it's got all these great features for real gaming.
Yes, it has, Dan. Like a voice communication system. Just post one to your friends.
Wow, James, that sure is cutting-edge technology.
Radios must be within a 10-meter straight line with clear line of sight and sunny weather with no wind.
Do you keep getting wrecked by hacker noobs online? Introducing new Taser security system.
Wow, it's so lightweight. It feels like there's nothing inside.
That's correct, Dan, but there's more.
Behavioral index to keep you from playing with idiots. An easy way to send in your results. Multiple game titles. And here you can see a happy customer.
It's great!
If you sign up within the next 4 minutes, you will get these items for free. James White's best Christmas songs. Watermelon signed by Dan Black.
Fan är det här?
When the night gets cold. What's the next lyrics, Dan?
What's
I don't
about
know.
what
The
about
song.
line?
The song.
What's that?
Never mind. It is time for... What is it time for, Dan? It's time for mausesports versus Fnatic, and it's time for Overpass. That's what's coming up right now. They are playing 2 matches, the second of which is going to be on... Where is it? What day is it? Number 6. It's Cobblestone. Overpass and Cobblestone between these 2 teams. You've got to peel new, like, layers. You're trying to de-lint with...
Sorry, lint Commander Bardolph.
Pass it
covered
over
in
here.
lint.
A man must keep on top of his lint.
Exactly. Okay, you can both just fail
Listen.
the same.
You
It's
gotta-
covered in lint, you have to peel the layer off.
Listen, I was maximizing the sheet because it's not my property. I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting any roll.
What a guy.
There you go.
See how I flipped that on his head?
What a guy.
Marketing.
Marvelous stuff.
nice.
Anyway,
It's working.
you're enjoying this, aren't you? You do
It's
need
like
to,
ASMR.
Yeah, I
you need a few rolls.
We good here?
Yeah.
Just got the cat inside the ECS studio over here.
Back in black, back on the attack.
All right.
What would be the best if we got like an animal that would just run amok around the studio? What would be the best representation for ECS? You think?
An
Would it be a
aardvark.
My cats
Your
would do
cats?
great work here.
Russian
My cat
blue?
likes to bite wires.
Is
Yeah,
Russian blue?
Russian blue, yeah.
2 of them or
I have 2, yeah, but the younger one is
piece of shit?
unlike... Language, Jordan, please.
That was just so crass. I love that. I just mean. I love it.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I love that. That's so good.
But it's not like any other cat you've ever seen. It's
Why?
almost like a dog, but it's a cat. It's
That sounds
awesome.
fun.
It's
I
awesome,
like
but the
that.
other cat, it makes it very uncomfortable. The other cat's like OCD and
This one's just flying around like filling it
yeah,
off.
just like no sense of personal space, privacy, or anything like that. So now this slightly older cat is like, you know, he's doing a poo and just not covering it up to try and exert dominance. Bigger cat, but he's just like won't do anything. And so the other cat, he likes to pick up a little toy, go in the other cat's face and growl at him. I've never heard a cat growl
So does
before.
does the active one like when you like pick him up and mess with him, and the
Oh,
other
he loves
one's
it,
like,
yeah.
"Don't touch me."
Yeah.
That's, I
Until
hate cats for that reason. I only
It's
like the ones
crazy.
that want to be held.
Yeah, it's mad, but they're both awesome. They are both awesome, but just separately.
So
Anyway.
you're gonna bring it to California then, James?
Maybe I need to get a passport for the cat first.
Nice. Cat passports.
Maybe we'll bring it into
Catport.
the studio for next season, perhaps. mausesports will be starting on a T side of Overpass. Deco's the grenade man. Everybody else on Kevlar, Golden Smoke and a Diffuse. Get nothing untoward here. Fnatic choosing to fight in Connector. Very interesting stuff. Trims off to a good start, but it doesn't last very long.
Fnatic in a 3v4. They just came off the victory versus Faze on this map, looking pretty confident. So don't let this pistol round deter you if Fnatic were to lose it. They looked very comfortable, but still in the round here. I like that the spawn boost is kind of very hit or miss. If you get the first kill, it's fun because you just fall off and you have all the info. If you don't get that kill, they immediately know they don't pretty much need to clear anything else in the site, and they can progress super fast. Open the door, getting a nice breeze here in the studio.
Yeah. Mausesports are going to open the door into the B bomb site soon. They are gathering towards that monster tunnel, but in the meantime, Oscar's got a clear sight, so that means everyone's on B basically. So he needs to actually. They have to wait for him to make the move before they can go anywhere at this point, now that he's discovered it's empty, because the rotation's too far.
I like this. Some teams will try to fall back, but he's like, nope. Let's bring him into the grinder here.
Bring him into action.
Bring him into it, and Oscar's going to see someone barrel in a second. Going to look around smartly, not engaging before he's unsure where they're at. And see you later. Oh, no!
Oh, he's being betrayed by the Glock. Maybe his team can recover. The boost is still there. Gold delivering a kill as well.
To his credit, that's a very annoying shot in the back of the head, but...
yeah, it's nothing to do with Oscar, really.
That's rage. That is just rage-worthy as hell.
But if his team can win the round, then it's all fine. But I'm sure he'll be tilted by that. Robson Sonny will finish off the job.
That is incredibly tilting.
You know, he should have crouched.
Can we get replay? Do we have a replay? I don't know. That was, I mean, that was just. I mean, he couldn't have been better there.
He stared everywhere.
No, he could have been better if he crouched.
Stared.
If he crouched, he would have been better.
I think one of my gripes with it is not being near the corner. I think if you take that fight, one way to solve that problem is you just back off a little and edge against the wall. So if you do start whiffing, you just strafe away. Your team's now collapsing, and then you just that's
a fair point. I guess he just never sees a world where that's not a kill, I suppose. That's the reason why he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying,
Oh,
though.
for sure. I definitely see his side, too. I can't pretend I haven't been in his shoes.
Wait. Oh, wow. Nicely done by Golden. It's such a... I mean, that spot it happens so commonly.
This map is so difficult, actually, in these rounds because one of the... Well, you know, one of the main things you would establish on a round like this if you're mausesports is the protocol to not take too many close-range fights because you know there's a good chance they force buy, but you have to take bathroom control. Eventually, you want to take blue control. You don't need to. You can kind of leave it open and pinch it late, but taking courtyard at water at B, some pretty close-range fights. So aside from long A, you're pretty much going to have an opportunity to get fought by someone really close, and you know, we see mausesports now at a disadvantage in a 3 versus 4, and as they go into the site, there's a good chance another one of them go down, and that they end this round in a 2 versus 1, which is still very winnable from a T perspective, but I just wouldn't be surprised if it fell in that way.
37 seconds on the clock. 37. Often the number people choose if you ask them for a random number between 1 and 50.
Really?
Yes.
Krem's getting a
Flank
little
from
caught off guard.
W. 20 seconds to plant the bomb. They've got the CT side of the bomb site at the very least, but will they commit to the bomb plant? No. Rops wondering what else is there, and they will win by elimination after all that.
So I was slightly wrong, but at the same token, they almost got that kill on Psycho. Krim's had a weird peek out there. And as you were talking about Bardolph earlier, you remember the molly I was talking about on my stream?
Yes,
Oscar
yes.
had it right there. He could have thrown it. And it could have made the round even more guaranteed and comfortable. So, 2-0, and now this is what we're talking about. They can just rush B because 99 times out of 100, the CTs will not rebuy right here. And that's just some peculiarity.
Easy entry against the pistols. Fish bash bosh. And everyone's dead. mausesports off to a pretty good start here on overpass. Fnatic obviously just suffering a defeat at the hands of Faze on this map, just previous to this. And
Krim's having a great game. Faze.
oh,
Mirage.
yes.
What?
I
misspoke.
He's giving misinformation.
I'm giving misinformation. It was in fact Mirage that Fnatic suffered a defeat on against Faze.
Oh yeah, I was just focusing on the other info.
Yeah, they decisively won overpass. So it's
yep.
We get to see how they fare when they don't have a good start. And it was actually Fnatic started on the T side on the previous overpass as well, and they went something like 9-1 like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So mausesports having a pretty good time. They've got 2 Mac 10s to continue with on this round, and they have an AWP onto Oscar, so they are having a good time. Sunny will take control of connector, and mausesports will begin pressure towards the B side of the map.
Interesting approach here by mausesports to not send anyone heavily towards the A side. If Fnatic happened to do any type of fountain push, they would have heard no one playground, and probably right about now heard that there's no one there and clear it, which is probably why mausesports is already taking B. They know that Fnatic could be taking A rather, and they have no choice but to go at the site. If they didn't and waited around and Fnatic was flanking, it's 100% pretty much round loss. Regardless, mausesports kind of running into a strategic kind of hiccup right now as they had to go, but they weren't quite ready as a unit. I see a little half exit coming in.
Only seeing one player though. So what does Lekro make of this? 2 Ts remain. It's interesting now. We see barrel players drop a smoke between the barrels and the pillar when they see Ts coming out of Monster, which doesn't let them retain map control at the cost of letting the Ts get closer. But it seems Ts are more prepared or ready for the retake. Order hold from the back. 30 seconds remain now. Stico and Rops looking for an opening. Rops trying to avoid being seen, maybe, I don't know, but either way, he'll get a kill. And that's pretty much the round right there. Fnatic are on the scoreboard.
Indeed they
so
are.
It's an interesting approach from mausesports to choose a round like that. I kind of like when they win pistol doing kind of a brunt force tactic at a site like B, because chances are even if you lose it, you're going to probably come down to 2v2 if you do the hit right. But they kind of just walked out Monster, which if you're just clearing the right side of the monster wall, it's a really great play because you clear it and then you kind of just hold, and then your team throws the Molotovs over the barrel Molotov and the site smoke, and then you're kind of already out and you hit. They kind of just peeked and died, so could have went way better for them. I don't think that's going to deter mausesports from doing something similar if they get the lead back. If they win a couple gun rounds, it's always a good way to just make a close round happen and hurt the other team's economy if that's the situation here. And here's another play. We were talking about solo op plays to kind of cause a distraction earlier on Cobble, me and Dan, where Liquid did it the other day. This is kind of akin to the same thing, where normally when an opper gets flashed along an overpass, you assume there's riflers escorting him to take the bathroom control. It might lean them to play 3A, which is exactly what is happening right now in Fnatic. But already quickly, mausesports has 4 towards B. Oscar's going to keep progressing, which might, when he takes a shot or gets spotted, encourage that rotator to come back to A, as he did go down to graffiti, I think. So after the smoke is thrown, we might look at that little blue dot, especially with Lekro. I thought he wasn't going to see anybody. But
oh, they had the Molotov in the corner and the pop flash. However, I think he was team flashed there, so he was unable to see anything. They were trying to flash anybody out of this kind of area and take them by surprise. So the timing slightly off there for Fnatic. Some more counter flashes, but with 16 seconds, this push is surely coming in. 3 CTs on the B bomb site now, and it will soon grow. They are getting cut to pieces. The Lord Mo is out for Fnatic. There's not much grass left here for mausesports. 3 seconds to Robson. He wants to run to his doom. Needs to stay alive now.
Second ding. Yeah, I think that, you know, that pop flash clear by Fnatic and Water really threw a wrench into mausesports gears. I think they were setting up, they just wanted a little bit more time and quiet to let Fnatic fake. I don't think they realized that they had already overstayed their welcome there in Water. But decent concept by mausesports. Mausesports has always shown, every time I watch them, they play kind of with the poise of a top team in certain moments, but right there got a little desperate. So I'm curious to see if they're going to have more depth to late round plays as the half proceeds.
Fnatic haven't gone super aggressive yet towards the A side of the map. That round was quite passive. They haven't really gone past. I don't think they've gone into connector yet, if I'm not mistaken. It is early, but I feel like so far we've seen Fnatic that's just, you know, just chilling out a lot and sort of feeling out mausesports and what they want to do.
Which is not usual for them, which is why I was surprised that Mouz did that heavy B hit. Because normally if JW does this, that first gun round, and sees nothing, they might stack B.
Yeah, and here they go. They're trying to use the numbers with the pistols to try to get something going for themselves. JW will pick away 1 as he fades away. Smoke will go down to make the life of mausesports rather difficult.
Bomb falling down the stairs, but it will be collected. Flusher can't find the angle. JW's in a very precarious position as well because, well, he does have cover inside the toilets for the time being, but I'm not sure he necessarily did have before. He was forced on a continuous fallback from his initial aggressive position, which is quite scary when you're the AWP and you don't quite get into any position with comfort. But here we are, 2 versus 3 in this cheaper round for mausesports. Chris Chase collected himself an M4A4. There is opportunity here for mausesports. They've got time on the clock. They are position unknown. I'm sure a peek will come in eventually, however, or will it? CJW's angle. It's fairly safe. Golden's got 2 jobs to do, but he seems comfortable for the time being. So, oh, mausesports made a step, and Golden will hear that. So that might be the accidental step that just brings this to a close for mausesports. Jump past the angle, but now JW can bait for his teammates. Down to the pistol, and Stico is in the red. Popping out now, the flashbang's there as well, and JW will finish off the job. 3rd round for Fnatic.
Ain't got no money. mausesports only with Oscar on anything. And Fnatic are starting to take control of the game, which is cool. And this also might be the spot where we start to see more and more aggression from Fnatic, because they'll be comfortable with creating a buffer of money, and it'll be more predictable as well as to what mausesports are going to have. In the following rounds, they're going to see the Glock eco, rather the P250 eco here. See if these P250s, small investment, they'll find anything with it. So far, so good for Fnatic, but there you go. Chris has found himself an AWP. That is not a fun prospect for Fnatic.
Chris J with a minute 30 and an AWP. That is a very, very, very big problem. He lives for situations like this. And the bomb is in a retrievable position. Really hear these plays and connected. They're looking for the double peak, but Cribs has only got 11 HP. Lecro there as well will finally put a stop to this. That was very worrisome indeed. Fnatic in the lead now. mausesports have the money to buy, however, so the pressure will keep up for both sides.
Curious to see what mausesports will do this round. I either want to see another somewhat early round B hit, which they might be doing, or some kind of map control, which they're definitely not doing. Where'd the flash go?
That's a very big question. Where was the
I think
flash?
I saw it. I think it went to the left by the track, which is a big mistake. Very important flash to throw correctly.
Crim's running out of bullets. 3 on 3. Time for mausesports to play with, but Golden is not going to rest, not going to wait around. He's getting aggressive.
Ooh. 3 players alive. I was going to just say they have 108 HP combined right now, which is not going to make things good unless Oscar takes that whole issue out by himself. Cheeky up. Ridding himself of that.
Oscar trying to make plays. Will he anticipate the player on the barrels? He will certainly have info on him. It's Flusher, and Flusher will take him down easily. Stiko and Sonny, as you mentioned, 4 HP each. Oscar was the only man with any health, and he's perhaps squandered it. We'll see, though. Sonny has gotten into quite a forward position on the A site. Stiko will rotate all the way. This is kind of cool. Sonny needs to find a really good spot to cut off rotation from B, and then he's pretty good. If he keeps moving, he might have problems, but he does get the drop onto Flusher. Golden now has to make the long rotation. Might actually be able to get there before the bomb does, as far as, you know, having an angle to hold. Okay, Sonny apparently will get the... He will die. Yeah, take this bomb. Go and die. Now Stiko ready for the clutch. Planning safe behind the truck in the 1v1. Golden, though, such a huge advantage. Surely there's no way he can lose this one, and indeed he'll finish off Stiko. Strange round.
Yeah. You know what would have been pretty cool is if, because, you know, who was it who got to A first? Sonny? So he knows last two are probably B. One thing that could have been kind of neat is if he just makes a noise in A and then just falls back connector. Like, he might run into a guy connector, but at least they're going to get a bomb plant without as much guarantee where they're at. I guess they're hoping to get the bomb town A and just get in cheeky positions. Catch that lucky kill. Tough round.
Cheeky positions.
Cheeky hidden positions.
Cheeky.
That's a phrase, right?
It is now. Molotov towards short B to stop any quick advancement of the T side. And there's the attempt, second attempt for the flashbang, throwing it before the train comes into play. And out comes Sonny. It's a nice response to some spray from Flusher. And the whole team is here for mausesports, and 2 players are very deep and out of position for Fnatic, so Lecro and co have to do a lot of work here. Golden moving into the water. He's got to retain this real estate for his team if he can, but he can't. No answer to these kills from mausesports.
Interesting route choice by Golden. If he would have hugged the wall, he would have isolated the 2 potential threats, which is the push through the smoke there by the barrel and the guy planting. So he could have taken a little bit different route, but...
Do you mean, was it Lecro by barrels? You mean when he pop flashed and went down the slope?
Golden just there, who was running up.
Oh, right.
Like, the 2 main concerns from there is someone pushing through the smoke when he starts shooting and someone planting, I would think.
Roger that.
But he chose the wide peak, which just lends him to more angles, too. So, like I said, you know, in some situations I do believe I'm right. I've been in a lot of these situations, but other ones I do also have hindsight here and I have X-ray and I got everything. So I try to watch how much I say what they should have done when CS is not that way. And that's
You're
why
the
we
most
love
qualified person, Jordan. That's why we have you here.
Sometimes in some of these situations, but even then I have to watch myself, because almost as a viewer you become like a fan in the moment, like, oh, he should have just wait a sec, why he shouldn't have done anything except what he thought was right, and why did he think that wasn't an option? So you have to, it's kind of a fun process, not always possible on these casts. Obviously we're more laid back here on the online matches, Don't have a chance on land as much as they're bringing the hype.
Nice.
And J-Dub's just dancing with flames.
It's a really tight shot by JW. Fast push from mausesports, trying to catch Fnatic off guard and completely break their money. But it's not really working out for them. Oscar's trying to change that. Pushing the ward side, Lekro's looking for him. Golden will trade again. At least Deco is the last one to fall. Golden holding his ground with 3 kills there.
Nice.
Elbow, a bit of elbow.
Yeah, that's a really sick shot. 6 rounds to 4. mausesports have, after a good start, after the pistol victory, have found trouble. Just as Faze did against Fnatic on Overpass. Maybe Fnatic's Overpass will end up being a very critical map in their map pool in the future months. They definitely look like they are very strong on it. So mausesports will have to discuss a different approach. And I think it's hard to find an approach against Fnatic, especially with it's one of the reasons why I think, you know, SK at the very beginning of you know, their showing of them being a very good Overpass team, like what we really saw, you know, Fallen showing the strength of a dynamic AWP, being able to push basically any position on the map with it, how that element makes it really difficult, because you can have a plan as a T side, but then if a player like Fallen finds a really fast timing somewhere and picks someone off, then you're in a really weird spot, and it's very difficult to play out of that. We're going to see JW going for a different angle this round, and he won't see anyone.
That's one of the toughest things too, if your team is not all well evangelized with your game plan. And I think Fallen does that really well for his own players, where, hey, if I go down, I'm the IGL, but I'll, you know, Cold Zero, Fur will take over at the call right away, or the initiative, and that is where the top teams really shine, is when things don't go as planned. So
yeah.
Facing an opera like Fallen.
Oh, Lekro. His teammate holding the great angle. Oh, look at that. What a bro. Running out of bullets though, pulls his knife out, just waits to die. Drops it for his Jake. They still have the bomb for now, continuing to show some presence, but perhaps they will fall back and reset the situation.
I want more things to surf on. Like, every time I get to watch people do this on Overpass, it's cool. I want, like, some stuff on, like, Mirage or Dust 2 or Cash or something that I could just slide on. That'd be fun. Imagine, like, at Highway as a CT on the left wall there by the spool. Imagine if that was slanted the whole way up. So if you, like, if you're on the catwalk at A on Cash, you could just, like, jump off and, like, surf all the way down to Highway White Box.
That'd be amazing.
Oh, my God.
Just fly out to middle with a CZ midair.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
That'd be awesome. 2 versus 3 here. In these situations, you kind of are just thinking, like, where was the op? And, like, where can we walk? So I don't know if they really have an idea at this point. JW doing what we talked about, Pistol. And if he misses this shot, they can immediately scale because they know one's not pit. And that's what's going to happen. They know the second's there. They're going to be able to smoke off site and hopefully see. Yeah, I guess that smoke makes sense. They don't know if the guy Heaven will be there by the time they plant. I was going to say they didn't need to throw that, but great awareness by Chris. Now it's 2 1 versus 1s. Rop's getting there close like he should. This is where you play a game of stay as close to your teammate as possible, but in different spots. Ropes should be ready to trade. I actually would like if Ropes is a little closer. I don't know. I guess he could have flanked there, but I feel like Ropes could have just watched the flank from a separate angle.
Well, works out for mausesports regardless. I always have a question in my mind when I see Crims on the clutch, because he's been so damn good of late. However, it will be a success. So 5 rounds to 6. mausesports begin to close things down a little bit, and they have been keeping Fnatic's economy somewhat honest, as we'll see Fnatic in a position where they don't have great weapons, and mausesports, they should be able to understand that this is the case. Ooh, that's a very nice shot from Oscar. He's going to keep progressing his way up the very scenic A-long position as we get the challenge from the pistols there of Fnatic down through Monster. They'll find nothing but failure. Well, I suppose they did get 1 kill, but ultimately it's very difficult. And Steeko will finish off JW for the round. 6-6, things all tied up. But even still, it does feel like Fnatic have been by far the better team on this first half.
Yeah, money can change things very subtly with the score, and I think it's going to be about an... I'm going to just guess A7, but Really interesting. I don't know if it's interesting more as like very kind of one-dimensional half from mausesports tactically, but still working out for them. They're definitely happy to get 6 on a map T-side like overpass.
Yeah, it's right now both teams. You know, you feel really comfortable with your positions. It's like they both have like a really good amount of rounds to play that CT, or I'll play the CT or T side with on the second half. And we do have a Mac 10 still, and Chris J could upgrade if he wanted, but I like that he's not.
So I'm curious. I feel like since they know JW1 have an op, they are going to try to do some kind of long control. Maybe that's why they were avoiding A before. Maybe it almost seems like they have some kind of theory that when there's an op on the CT's hands, we just avoid A. Because every time they've known Fnatic was full bot, they've went B pretty much, like heavily.
It's a really good point, actually, and I can definitely see some logic, some merit to why that would be, you know, the decision. It's much rarer you're going to see that, like Suez push with the AWP. I think we maybe, I'm not sure if I'm mixing up games.
It's much more forecast though. It's easy to avoid, right? Like they're gonna throw they're gonna put out your Molotov that you throw sandbag, right? You're gonna hear them smoke that out and try to take water control fast. Whereas at A, you just see the same smoke every round. It's almost like mid on cash, seeing that bottom mid smoke and assuming the operator is gonna be Z. You never know where he's gonna be. Whereas if you're B main, he only has one place to push you. Same on cash. You go A and you can just die to a lot of different stuff. So, wonder there might be something to that.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
Seen a pattern here with mausesports kind of avoiding A until they've not faced ops.
Electro
surprise
is gonna die. Yeah, pretty nice round from mausesports there in the end, and their plan worked out. And again, it was cool to see that Chris, you know, held on to keep, you know, a Mac 10, even though he could have bought an AK-47. I like it. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of spots like that where, you know, you can, like having a Mac 10 or even a CZ potentially could be better for the purpose of that player's specific role in the round, but just because you have the money, you'll see them buy an AK. Whereas guns like the CZ, you can't ignore how insane it is. The running, like the movement speed with it and how accurate it is can be so good as the opening player where you're creating space for
and the
player
close range
behind you.
Fight, it's probably better than an AK.
Yeah.
So
you keep on moving. Like in connector, it's pretty damn ideal. So good for trades, setting up trades. Either way, last round of the first half, and it's a hodgepodge buy from Fnatic. They don't have a very good look there. And it's a bit of a variety show. Flush is investigating sewers. This is cool. An information play. Very important. mausesports making noise towards the A side of the map.
Crims is around there, but with an MP9, he cannot go for the deepest of peaks, and Rops will punish Lecro for getting Larry around a monster area. He'll be smoked off by Golden. Maybe Fnatic wondering if any lurker was around here, but Rops is often here and there. Ooh, is he going to go for a timing push? No wonder, looking through the gap now. And he realizes with that kind of behavior that the CT would likely start to back off. He'll try to punish that with his teammates. Numbers game, charging through Monster. Not much Fnatic to do in response. Flusher doing what he can, but the numbers are too great. And in this last round, looks like mausesports will be going 9-6 at halftime.
Yeah, good recovery. It felt like Fnatic started to take over the game. They managed to get it to like 6-6 after a pretty poor start, and as you said, you know, mausesports with a good recovery into a nice little streak at the end. Rops having a pretty nice game.
Yeah, it's a good comeback. I'm kind of just like, I don't know, nothing too special about that half to me. I think Fnatic's still pretty confident, but just kind of curious to see if mausesports keeps up this kind of unique. I don't know, they're playing different on T side. I'm curious to see if I'm going to see anything unique on CT. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
I don't know if I'm a fan of like no kits from mausesports. No way, it's a fast move into the B-bomb side. They are going to be playing retake. That is what you need. The instant headshots when the T's approach. This could not really be too much more ideal for mausesports. They have prevented the bomb from going down fairly quickly. The bomb will go down now, and this is going to create a timing for the CTs to push. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Together in numbers, 3v1, but Crims will deny 2 as he himself is caught on the reload. A very close affair, but at the very least, they got the bomb down for the team.
Does mausesports, do they live together?
Don't know.
I don't know, actually.
It seemed kind of like a post-LAN win, kind of like pause before the defuse and then high five. I don't know. He just like kind of just stopped and looked at the ground. So
Right.
Unless he's high-fiving his mom sitting behind him. There, way to go, Oscar.
That'd be so sick. My mom watches
I'd
all
be
my
surprised
matches.
if they lived together. Just because the age difference of the team, and they're from so
Yeah.
many different countries,
Yeah.
the cultural difference as well.
He just did the pause, you know, the LAN stop.
Good
Yeah.
LAN stop.
The no defuse kit's interesting. I mean, if you consider the distance between the two sites, that probably has a lot to do with their decision not to bother with the defuse kit. It's not like a rotation from A to B on Mirage or something. So
Reminds me of that like super old clip on the internet from like maybe like 15 years ago or something, where it was a bunch of like really young kids, maybe like between 12 and 15, playing Counter-Strike. They win a round, and then like
get up and
everyone jumps
dance.
out this, they start dancing to like techno music playing
Yes.
for the freeze time, and they will get back in their chairs and start the next round. Yeah, you remember that?
Serious, right after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone knows that, if anyone knows where that clip is, give it like send it to James on the Twitters. But it seems like this very innocuous buy has become somewhat of an issue. Fnatic finding a way to get a kill and a plant on the A site.
oh, nice flag attempt from Flusher, but mausesports seem to be doing the loop-de-loop all over the map, and this is a round where you might need that defuse kit. But none of these 3 players alive have one. Golden taken down, Crims. Unable to do much again. This is a surprise result at this point for Fnatic, so see if JW can get anything else out of it. The answer is no. But, I mean, great plant, good damage, and it could have been even worse for mausesports.
I mean, how much did they save? Because they got the plant in the previous round too, in the pistol round. So look at their money. Damn. They rich. They rich.
Chris Shea gonna hold on to the little MP9 there? MP7, MP9?
I bet you anything that he will.
MP7, that one. Yeah, MP7's good. If he's playing close quarters like Short B or something.
Also, we were
Could be
talking about
viable.
anti-eco or ecos in this round, or anti-ecos, yeah, are so annoying on this map because there's so many little close spots that if you try to prod anything alone, you can go down. Who's that Molotov?
Must be a team mode.
Yeah, all the way through it. Could have pop flashed himself off the wall, but he's a gamer.
Ooh.
Flusher with the spam.
Nice.
Yeah.
That clip is actually on Reddit of me right now, because on stream the other day I did that spam and someone's like, LOL, you've never done that in a pro match in my chat. So I just go AFK immediately and pull up on YouTube when I'm playing Fnatic and I get a double kill through that.
Nice.
And then it got on Reddit, they're like,
Oh,
that's
owns.
Fully wrecked.
Let me see him do that in a
Back.
pro match.
Here you go.
On the subject of fully wrecked. Now it's a quiet walk for Fnatic in the sun, looking down at their shadows, or their teammate shadows, since they can't see their own. Forwards towards the B-bomb site.
There's an imperative part of the map there, as you see the train go through.
Very important.
Be careful, it might stop your grenades.
Hello.
Okay, well, there's the information. Oh, Oscar.
How demoralizing is that? When the first pump goes off and you're pulling out an aid and you know if you could switch weapons faster you would die, but you're just like, and watch myself die.
Flush has got 20 seconds. He's going to be sprinting to the A site. Can he do this? It's going to be tough. Rops is waiting. If he just waits until the plant comes in. Oh, that's a fake! 9 seconds, 9 seconds, 7 seconds. It's the fake again, and
Oh,
he doesn't have time.
I know he might do.
No, he doesn't.
The HUD is slightly
Wait.
delayed. The HUD is slightly
Oh, is
Because
it?
it's
like-
custom HUD, yeah.
But it must be.
And there it
Who
is.
created this HUD, Amon? Jeez.
And there is the massive clutch from Flash, guys. We interrupted talking about the bloody HUD. Come on, guys.
Speak of the devil. He shall appear.
Wait, that was a voice clip?
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow, that was awesome. Immediately redeemed themselves, production. Yeah, because immediately I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, 4 seconds passed. It doesn't happen. You guys have the inside meta here.
It was like 3 seconds on the 3rd second. So I wonder what how much the delay. Like it'd be good to know how much.
That couldn't have been more than
is.
like a ½ second max.
Yeah. Oh, that looks pretty on, Oscar. Oh, but, I mean, poor Chris. It's always the booster, the generous man, the man who sacrifices himself that gets punished the most.
Yeah. But Oscar's not done getting boosted. Woo! That was so fun being on top.
It is.
Why are they laughing in production?
It's because they're children, James.
1 minute on the clock. Nobody down just yet. Where is Oscar? He could be anywhere. He could have rotated. This is still a dangerous game, but he'll be committed to this position. I do wonder though if he'll be showing with that kind of angle.
He will. I think he's just got some read. He's falling back. Not going to stay there too long. And oops, going to see the feet, so he's going to assume more coming to the right. He's not going to stay too exposed, but he has enough vision to hit the flick on the right. I don't think he's going to assume anyone's going to fall off the ledge. Yeah, he's totally aware of it. It's all about the fallback plan. Take that shot, get out, hold sandbag, miss the shot.
Can AWP be retrieved? I think it was shot away from Sunny's position. So he'll be left with the USP and the rest of the round will collapse.
Do you think that was on purpose?
What?
The shooting the op away? There's no way.
No. I think it was still in the air.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that'd been genius. Psycho, it's a cool alias. I just like looking at it. Nice combination of words.
It's his last name.
Is it?
Yeah,
Martin
look underneath.
Stike. Minus the O.
He told us that it was pronounced Stiko.
Yeah. I think that is actually correct. I just...
Stiko like Kiko like Nico.
My brain.
Jordan wants to say Styko like Tycho.
I also say I also have
like Nico,
12 different versions of KRB, Kagerby.
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 Kagerby is cool.
Kagerby. I think of like a really, really fancy Kirby. Kirby.
Kagerby.
Sky Kitten.
Kagerby. Right then.
That'd be good in the clutch.
Round number 20. And
Kagerby!
Now we've got two snipers on the mausesports side, Chris J and Oscar. Problems are compounded for Fnatic in that respect. Rops, you appear to be on fire, sir. Time to rotate.
Robin hot.
Oh, man.
See what I did there?
I can't even complain because I do that kind of thing myself.
Yeah.
I cannot complain at all.
You haven't shown up as much as last time I was here. I remember you hit me with a couple that just stopped me from talking.
Letting you have your moments in the sun, Jordan.
Thank you.
Rops is crushing, by the way. Rops is absolutely crushing it this game.
I just feel like he's chilling there with a bag of like hot Cheetos to his left or whatever his snack would be, and he's just gaming. He's got like chip like residue on his fingers.
Ew,
he's just sitting there
that's
like,
so gross. What a gamer.
What a gamer. Look at him, he's disgusting. come on, Jordan, you gotta...
Let's expand these stigmas.
We're gonna sell a better image here.
The Rops. Styko just getting a frag after his post-workout this morning.
There we go.
Stiko. Sunny sitting on the ledge looking tight after his run.
Nice. Those are some gamers.
Back row entry fragging. Legs looking solid after deadlifts this morning.
That guy's had a lot of vegetables. That's reaction speed.
Rops on the quick flank, thinking fast because of all the spinach he's eaten today.
Spinach is good.
If your brain, JW.
Oh, and they actually are finding a way into the B-bomb site here. We've got JW and Mr. Bomber Golden, although Mr. Bomber Golden is very dead. So Chris had the angle, playing it passively. The bomb has fallen onto the site, but you must cross this perilous path without smokes to cover your way. And it will not be doable.
JW always has that like accentuated flick thing happen. I want to watch him in person. Oh.
Yeah.
It's like he just... When he hits them, they're probably beautiful. It's an art. See that hand flick?
So you need to put a paintbrush in his hand instead and see what happens.
I was trying to think of a famous artist's name to put in his name, but I couldn't think of it. So
Van Gogh.
Jade.
Picasso.
Jesper.
Da Vinci.
Cincy. I'm done.
Full spy territory for Fnatic. And indeed, it might be Could it be Monster with no grenades? There's a grenade from the CT side, somewhat shallow, but it will contain to some degree. Rops is going for a block arena, maybe. Is that a bottle? That's a bottle smoke.
Oh, he has another smoke.
That's nice, some containment. You can see the players before they emerge.
So that's a DDK smoke.
Oh, is it?
No.
Why'd you get all the smokes and Molotovs? I get nothing.
Make
No.
something.
I guess that's fair.
definitely
I guess that's fair, actually. So that's a pretty reasonable argument. can't argue with that. Look at the creep here into that B bomb site. Slow and short. Oh! Let grow!
Let grow!
An assassin!
You don't understand anything but your name, so I just say let grow!
Deagle assassin
Jonas.
back at it again. AK in hand. What else is he going to land here? He's ready and waiting. And unfortunately for him, there's no one to help him out. There's no baits, nothing like that. Had to do it alone, but now it's down to Flusher, the AK. JW only has a Glock, a mere Glock. How the hell does Flusher pull this one off? Bit of distraction, defuse comes in. 1, 2, can he get the third in time? Oh, just barely missing the angle. The full defuse comes in. Steeko is good for it. Somehow, Flusher still gets to kill with the Glock through the smoke. I don't know, but still. The round for mausesports, 13-8.
That shot from Lecro, though. Oh my days.
That is nuts, isn't it?
Oh man, that was crazy. Nice. It was crazy and it was nice. Round number 13 for mausesports, and Fnatic going to continue to force it up, it seems. Are they at the point of no return? Certainly appear that way. Did Crim see the barrel of the gun poking out? Surely well, maybe it comes up on the radar. I don't know what triggers the radar when it is when people are on the brink of appearing. Is a trade there? Trade's not even required. That is a collapse of a round for Fnatic. Very important players and key guns taken away early on. I don't know what Fnatic can do about it.
I don't have any idea what just happened. Maybe not from an IGL perspective. I wish we had a Sean Gears here to explain why they would want to just take blue control that way, that early. I guess if you don't want to deal with all the obstacles that like the bathroom / fountain area has early, you could just do that kind of creep. It's a pretty like good risk, because if there's only one guy there, you trade him, and if there's no one there, it's like free map control essentially. Because if they let the pinch open from blue, you could assume there's probably only one holding bathroom. Because if they're aggro, there's gonna be some watching blue. I don't know. Sean, tweet at you.
Come on, Sean. Come on. Double up.
Full spy number 3.
That's what's cool about CS though, because for as many answers and like things and knowledge I have on different maps, there's always something someone does at a certain time that I'm just like, huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would that be a thing?
And it's like when you have the complete information as well, that's like another thing that can be a bit weird. And also you can't see the meta, like it's not visible, it's not tangible.
Yeah, and so how dialed in is everybody?
And also, very nice, Mosca. 1, 2, 3, easy, does it. Eventually gets traded out, but it's fine. His teammates are holding it down on the site.
Grab that off.
It's also hard to know as well, like, not just the overall pro meta, but also the team versus team specific meta as well, which is also a thing. So.
Yeah, how is their strat color just gonna? Because the metas only go so far. If your strat color just says rush B,
yeah.
You know, it's. No, you could start to read. It is interesting the higher level you get at when you start to befriend a lot of the in-game leaders. How you start to, and some people hide it better. Like the Virtus Pro guys at their peak, they purposely would kind of mess with you, and that was part of their like pregame ritual.
Right,
and like, and they wouldn't like to have too many signs for how they were gonna play against you. And some teams had a better read, but it is funny how you can start to kind of get in the mind of the other team. And I think that is the weakness of some of the teams who rely heavily on the in-game leaders and the strats. Those are the teams who want to, you know, I don't know who would be a good example for us in the past. Even when we'd even played Liquid as our North American counterpart in the past, they always probably had deeper strat books than us, but I know when we got really scrimmy on them, it just pissed them off.
Yeah,
because their strat caller couldn't contain what was happening.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is frustrating to play against, but right now mausesports are on match point. Fnatic are fighting to keep themselves alive on overpass. They had such a crazily strong overpass against Faze, but mausesports are a different story, a different team, a different style. Seiko will be forced to back away. No one's died just yet. A lot of pressure into the bathroom area. No presence towards sewers or monster for either team at the moment, but mausesports are beginning to gravitate further back towards A here, so they really feel this presence.
Sonny going for the full flank.
I like it. Someone has to be aware of it, right? This Opto is going to add a nice distraction for Sunny, because I doubt we think another guy pushes if the Op is still bathroom.
Yeah, that's a great distraction. Does he go above connector around the party position, hold the wall?
I think he might as well flank right here. Yeah, he might as well just peek this and clear it, because then at least they can retake B as a team. But if he goes T-spawn, something gross happens.
Yeah, with 40 seconds on the clock as well. I think if he can stay in this area, then one person can figure out what's going on at the front of A, and maybe Nico should be towards the B bomb site at this point. Oh, it goes back towards A, but Flush has been taken out, and Sonny's going to take the action forwards and wipe everybody out around connector. No response from Fnatic, 16-8 for mausesports.
I'm switching to the M4A1S and a P2K.
Wow.
Good luck with that.
I don't use the A1S, so you can't switch. I thought you were copying.
Like, what do you think about the A1?
I don't know. I guess I'm just old school. I like the 30 volt spray. Being able to hold down mouse one. I'm a bit of a mouse oneer. I don't know.
A bit of a mouse oneer.
You know.
Nice.
Holding it down extended periods of time. Don't get too technical on me. Don't make me
So what do you make of the performance of mausesports here?
I haven't been watching a lot. I literally told you in the